What is up, YouTube? Bobby from Little Legends here, and today we're going to be going over some vocal processing, and then I'm going to go over some other small details and talk about how you can layer your vocal. And I'm going to show you how to turn this.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh.
Into this.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh.
So I've got this main lead right here.
You make me feel
like
all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh.
So I've got a chain here that I use, and I'm going to go through each one basically together with you guys so you guys can understand why we're doing what we do, and I'll explain each one. So the first one we're going to use is a compressor. I have Waves whole pack, so I use a lot of Wave stuff, but you can use other compressors, like CLA Vocals is another good one. I believe I used that before I was using this one, but I just like the design of this one better.
Me feel like
There's a ton of presets. You can use anyone
you make
like
me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh. You make me feel like confetti on a New Year's night. I don't want nobody. You make
nothing too crazy, 5 to 7, 6 to 8 dBs. Something to where you notice that the volume is starting to sound more even. And if it sounds like it's all over the place, there are times when you need to basically go through and manually adjust each of the levels themselves by basically cutting the clips and raising the gain of each part of the song.
You make me
right
feel
now we're gonna have this
like
compressor on.
all eyes on me.
So the next one we got is a EQ. You can use Pro Q3 or you can use just the stock EQ.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh. You make
Basically, you're going to be using the EQ to try to find any rumbling frequencies, any frequencies that really sound out of place, and you're also going to try to bring some life into the vocals. So I like to boost a little up here. I do something else with the top end, but you can also bring up the top end to add brightness to it. But I actually do something else, so I'll show you that later, so I'm not going to do that right now.
Like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh. You make me feel like confetti on a New Year's night. I don't want nobody but you. You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh. You make me feel like confetti on a New Year's night. I don't want nobody but you. You make me feel like.
So, by the way, this dynamic knob is basically only when notes hit that frequency range above the threshold that you pull down to is basically when it'll start EQing. So this is a really cool feature that they have in the Pro Q3.
You make.
So that's cool. So just with those two, listen to that.
You make me feel like all eyes on me.
It's already starting to sound way better, but we got still some more things to do. So next we're going to use, if you want to use a light distortion, I use Saturn.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see, oh.
I think that adds a lot of life to the overall vocal. I can boost the top end, turn the drive up and down, basically to my own preferences.
You make me feel like.
Something else that I use right after this little distortion thing, or honestly you can use it instead of the distortion, or you can kind of play with them and use a little bit of both, is Fresh Air. This is a free plugin and I'm not sponsored by them, but they are incredible. I can't remember who makes it, but I absolutely love this plugin. It's free and it basically adds life into either the mid-highs or the highs. So you can listen to kind of.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see.
Now it might be a little bit too much, but let me over-exaggerate it real quick so you can hear what it's doing.
You make me feel like.
Obviously that's really sharp, but you can see that it's adding some highness to the mid-highs and to the high highs. I don't think that's the right way to say that. to basically give you a brighter sound. But I'm going to turn them down a little bit because I already used Sign of Distortion, boosting that high end, and so I don't really need a whole lot going on.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see. Oh, you make me feel like.
So I like that right there. The next up is we're gonna have a De-Esser, which is gonna basically take all this and we're gonna bring them down and try to make them not as noticeable. So let me see if I can find
you make me feel like confetti on a New Year's night.
You can use any De-Esser, just kind of play with it. This is pretty self-explanatory. You play with the threshold until you actually notice the sound difference. You don't want it to be crushed. 49. You want it to be crushed like this.
I don't want nobody on a New Year's night.
Then it gets drowned out and you can't hear anything. I liked where I had it at right around 49.
On a New Year's night.
Next, this is absolutely optional depending on how you like to do your vocals and if you like your vocals to be put into a different space, or if you kind of like them dry and then you just like using the back reverb to kind of create atmosphere behind it. I always like putting it in a space.
On a New Year's night.
Now that's a little too much. I don't necessarily want it that high. Basically, Valhalla Vintage Verb has this really cool, these really cool presets. If you go to plates and basically use any of these plates and kind of experiment around with them. I think I like tight plate, I like vocal plate, and I like vox plate. Those are all really cool. And so I'll turn it down to where it's just kind of noticeable.
I don't want a New Year's night. 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 I don't want a New Year's night.
I think that's really cool. It adds just a little bit more life to the mix. And then I have one last EQ in here. Just kind of making sure everything's tame.
I don't want a New Year's night. I don't want a New Year's night. I don't want a...
Cool. So after we're done this is pretty much going to be our vocal chain. Depending on what kind of sound you want, you can use different kind of plugins. Basically, the ones that you're always going to be using pretty much all the time with vocals is going to be your compressor, your Q, your De-Esser, and yeah. So those are going to be the three that you mainly use all the time, is the compressor, the EQ, and then the De-Esser. The other ones are optional, but I think they make your overall vocal sound a lot brighter and better. But that's just my opinion. So now we went from this to this. Okay, so the next step up is going to be adding reverb and delay, which is going to be we want that to be behind the vocal because we don't want the vocal to get lost in the mix. So we're going to add a reverb that I have set up. And I think I need that compressor.
I don't want a New Year's night. I don't want...
And basically what we have here, let me show you this up real quick. So we have a reverb that's sent out to this bus, right? We have a reverb, a Q3 that's basically cutting out the lows and highs so the reverb doesn't get too messy. And then ignore this. But basically what we got is a compressor. And this compressor is bused to this empty bus 23, which is down here. So you basically just take an empty bus, so you go in here, go bus, pick any random one that you want, and then you're gonna hit pre-fader. And once you hit that to pre-fader, it's going to allow you to compress the reverb to the signal of the vocal track. And that's really cool because it allows you to have the vocal and not get lost in the reverb. And I went over this in another video. If you didn't check it out, definitely check it out with my 3 tips for making reverb stand out. But this is going to be something a little different because we really don't want that vocal lost, right? We want that to be the center of the attention. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this up.
I don't want a New Year's night. I don't want a New Year's night. I don't want a New Year's night.
Now this compression is going to be taking place that if we have this all the way down,
I don't want a New Year's night.
It's pretty much going to be completely dry because you can hear that reverb come back in after the vocal's completely finished or after there's no sound. We don't want it that dry, but we want it somewhere where it sits really right.
I don't want a New Year's night. 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 I don't want a...
Okay, I like that. So next thing is we're going to have delay. You can use any delay of your choice. I'm using Delay Designer and I'm using quarter slow pan. And I basically have this set up the same way where I EQ out the harsh frequencies from the bottom and the top. And then basically I take the compressor and I bust it to the exact same pre-bus that I have out here. And I do the exact same thing.
I don't wanna this night. 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 Feel like confetti on a this night. I don't want nobody but you.
Cool. And those are my basically my full vocal processing for this lead right here. So it goes from
Feel
this.
like confetti on a this night. I don't want nobody but you. You.
Now, the next part I want you to think about when you're having vocals recorded, if you're recording vocals yourself, is you want to have layers. So this is really important because it's going to really fill out the entire spectrum of things. With this song, we actually don't have a crazy amount of recorded layers, so we wanted to get really kind of creative with what we could do and make it sound more full, especially for this pre-chorus part. So what we did is basically we had a lead, we had a one harmony, which I've gone through the processing in a very similar way. The only difference that you're going to do with the harmonies and the lows and whatever other backing tracks you have is basically cut out a little bit more lows and de-ess them a little bit harder so that they don't stick out and they kind of blend in the background. But besides that, you're going to process them pretty much the same. So we got lead.
Nobody but you.
We have this harmony.
Nobody but you.
We have this low.
You.
And that sounds good, right? But we wanted it to sound a little bit more full, and to us, we didn't have enough layers to make it sound full. So what we did, that I'm not going to really show that much in this video, but I will give you guys some tips for how you guys can do this if you guys don't have a vocoder plugin. But I'll probably do that in another video. Is basically what we did is created 3 separate vocoder layers, right? And this is cool because you have 3 separate areas where it serves some kind of purpose, right? So we have this darker, if it'll play. Oh, here we go.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see.
Sounds like some old Daft Punk. So this is cool. We got this low, then we got a high one.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see.
Very zeddy. That's a word. It is now. I just made his name a verb. Adjective. No, I made his name an adjective. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired tonight. It's been a long one. Anyway, high vocoder, bass vocoder, and then we have this main one that sits right in the middle.
You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see.
A vocoder is a awesome way to distinguish your pre-chorus or your chorus from the rest of the song. It really adds some cool energy, and from what I've found, I know it's an ear pleaser for the people that are listening as well, and people always tend to love that part even more when there's a vocoder there. I love using vocoders. This is the first track we actually used a vocoder on, and we probably will be using it a lot more now just because we ended up liking how it turned out so much. So with all the layers together, we basically got our lead, our harmony, our low, so just 3 layers, and then what we did is we made 3 vocoder layers that each serve their own purpose. So now together, this is what we've got.
But I want it. You're stuck in my head.
Also, pay attention to how the main part that we want people to sing is completely drawn out of the song now with these vocoder layers.
But I ain't honest. You make me feel like all eyes on me, like I'm all you see. Oh, you make me feel like confetti on a New Year's night. I don't want nobody but you.
So that was a really cool way to break up the song, basically give it more energy and just make it a little bit different. I'll go over how to vocode in a different video if you guys really want to know how to do that. But I hope you guys enjoyed all of this, and hopefully you learned something about processing your vocals, stacking your leads. I will give you another tip right before I head out. That's super important. If you're going to record vocals, make a checklist, okay? I would say record 2 vocals of your main leads. So that's your lead, and that's a double. Record 2 harmonies that you can pan all the way left and all the way right. Record a low version, and I even like to get a whisper layer in there because you get some different textures. So if you're having someone sing a song, I might in this case have her go like, I don't want nobody but you. Because the way that you're singing, you're getting more breath into it. It's going to sound more airy. It's going to get more of a touch into the song. So I like that too. So 2 layers of the leads, a low, 2 harmony tracks, and then a whisper track. And then from there, go wild. It's really cool to kind of stack vocals and do this kind of processing and hear magic almost instantly when you turn off and on the processing. If you guys learned something today, and if you did, let us know what you would like to see in the next video, and let us know what your favorite part of this video was so we can continue making more videos. And I'll see everybody next week.